The following program is rated GE. It is suitable for general family viewing.
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Beyond the Limit with me, Zainab Mohammed. On this episode, we'll be speaking about a not so discussed condition called dementia. What is dementia? How is it diagnosed? How do you treat it? And what are some of the types of dementia? To discuss this very important topic is a brilliant panel of doctors right here with me. And right next to me is Dr. Jane Nyutu. Dr. Jane is the CEO and founder, Mind and Beyond Wellness Center. At the center is Dr. Rahab Gathuci, clinical psychologist and a lecturer, Mount Kenya University, Nairobi campus. At the far end is Dr. Serah Kimarua, Dean, School of Social Sciences, and the coordinator, Persons with Disability at Mount Kenya University. Thank you so much for making time, and karibuni sana. To start us off, Dr. Jane, what is dementia, and is it a genetic or an acquired disease?
Now, dementia is a neurocognitive disorder. When we talk about neurocognitive, it means it's to do with the brain. The brain coordinates the functioning of the body. So what happens with dementia, it interferes with the thoughts, the thinking patterns, the perceptions that the person has. It is about the consciousness, emotional behaviors, and it is also to do with how a person acts. Dementia is a progressive disease. It is not a single term. It houses many other conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and it moves from mild to major to delirium. When one has mild dementia, it means they can carry on with their daily activities, but part of them, they are not fine. Major means that they have lost one or two functioning abilities, but when it comes to delirium, it is total, like loss of memory, normal functioning, etc.
Dr. Rahab, I don't know if you have anything to add on that.
Maybe what I would want to add is that this condition is degenerative, and it is also good to know that dementia is like a cover of so many conditions. So it is not a singular sickness. There are many different types of sicknesses that are under dementia. So it is an umbrella term for such things as Alzheimer's, like Parkinson's, like Lewy body, and another one that is called mixed. So there are so many types of conditions under the umbrella of dementia. So you may find somebody suffering from one type that will be curable, another one that will just degenerate continuously until it gets to that delirium stage that Dr. has told us about.
Maybe you could just give us some of the symptoms that could signal that that's dementia.
Yeah, like Dr. Jane has said, it's neurocognitive. So the most likely thing that you will find with a person with dementia is problems with thinking, problems with memory. They'll forget things. Some will even forget their children. They'll forget their home. They'll forget where they have kept their keys. The memory just goes. Another symptom could be that you may find people reacting in a kind of a way. Like some people will be paranoid. They'll fear. Some people will even not be able to coordinate things. So you may find that even eating for them is a problem. So there are actually there is cognitive and psychological areas of functioning that you observe, and you can see that this person has dementia. Yeah.
Dr. Serah, we know that not everybody considers, or in our society considers dementia as a mental health issue. Yeah. So my question to you is, have we accepted dementia as an illness in our society?
Okay. You find that as it is, dementia is something that has not been has not been manifesting itself so much to the extent of people recognizing that it's a mental health issue. And so when people start now showing those kind of symptoms, as my colleague has said, Dr. Rahab, that there is the issue of loss of memory, there is the issue of not concentrating so much on what one is doing, some people will tend to think that a person is pretending. So we have seen a lot of discrimination and stigma for persons with dementia. So the society has not really considered it as a condition that that requires maybe professional help in terms of maybe seeking counselors or even going to the medical practitioners. So generally the society has tried to ignore these symptoms, and it is when you hear it has now moved from the minor stage or the initial stages to the extreme stages, just because it never caught the attention of the society or even the family members of persons with dementia. So I still feel there is much that needs to be done for people to, there is need for people to be aware and to be sensitized on issues of dementia, so that it doesn't deteriorate so much even among persons with dementia. Yes.
Dr. Jane, I know genetics is a big factor when it comes to dementia. What are some of the other causes of dementia?
Yeah, genetics is actually a main issue. If both parents have a history of dementia, then there is a high probability that one person along the genetic line may have dementia. And that is why family history becomes very, very important when it comes to diagnosis of dementia. There are other causes of dementia, like Dr. Rahab had said. For example, if someone has chronic stress or that can go to depression, it can increase the levels of dementia. If, for example, you have major dementia and you have depression or chronic stress, then it can heighten the challenge. People who abuse alcohol and drugs and they have signs of dementia, it becomes also worse. We have brain injury issues. For example, people who do dangerous sports activities, boxing, climbing mountains, in case of a serious fall, and there's a damage in the head injury, it can also contribute to dementia. And this tells us that sometimes it can affect people from all walks of life, not necessarily the way we think it's for the old people. There are old people who grow old generally, and they develop dementia at maybe 70, 80 years, but they are gracefully aging. But there are those now who have the genetic predisposition, and they get dementia, the clinical dementia. Yes.
Dr. Rahab, just to sort of progress from what Dr. Jane has said, how do you diagnose dementia, and what are some of the types of dementia?
There is no clear-cut diagnosis that is done, though medical laboratories sometimes can be used to tell whether somebody is tending towards dementia. People can also go through CT scan. It also helps to show whether somebody is tending towards dementia. The other thing is that is general observation. When you look at a person maybe that you know, and you see that they are deteriorating in their memory, like a spouse can be able to tell this person is tending towards dementia because they are forgetting things. You know, again, family history is also can be able to help tell whether somebody is tending towards dementia when you look at what has been happening to other people in their line, in their family line. So those are some of the ways that you can be able to diagnose dementia. The types are just like maybe had referred earlier on. There's Alzheimer's, which is the most common. That one is the most common. It starts from 65, age 65 and onwards. You may find people are slowly slipping into Alzheimer's. There could be these are the frontal type. There could be the Lewy type. I also said there is another one called mixed. And you know, those are some of the 4 of them are most common. There are others here and there, but those are the most common. And like I said, Alzheimer's is the one that is actually mostly diagnosed. Yeah.
Dr. Jane, I see you might have a thing or two to add.
I think she has really done well in that area. Yes.
Dr. Serah, we know caregiving is a big part of taking care of someone with dementia. How can one choose the best caregiver when it comes to dementia?
When you are choosing caregivers for persons with dementia, I think it's good to note that you need not to take chances. Yeah? So get a good-hearted caregiver, a person who is able to communicate freely, a person who doesn't get tired by being reminded or being cautioned, because persons with dementia may seem to be very repetitive. You know, they will say this thing this morning, again they
So
repeat.
patience.
Yes, so you also need a person who is full of patience. You must be a person who is ready to be guided. And then you need a person who is attentive, so that when you give instructions, at least they are followed. So if you are the one who is maybe getting this caregiver for maybe a parent or any other person who has dementia in your family, then you need a person who is quite reliable and very sincere. A person who tell you this happened today, and you are able to also to trace the progression of what is happening with your with the person with the dementia. So you need a reliable person, you need an attentive person, you need a person who you are surely able to tell this person will report as it is, and will not mistreat the person with dementia. You don't need a person who is very hostile. You know, some people can be very hostile. They still think this person is still in their normal senses, and they can overdo things on them. So you need a person who is quite patient and who is not hostile, who is kind, and who is ready to be available all the time, and a person who can communicate well, and a person who is warm. You know, in that this person, when he or she is with the person with dementia, at least the person gets encouraged. Thank you. Yes.